Welcome to Issues of the Day, where we discuss key issues in the news. I am Nana Daneji. Joining me today are Mr. Saheed Ayegboka.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Adeniran Demola.
Thank you.
Good morning.
This morning is the other way around. Demola.
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. Mr. Demola Adeniran.
Thank you very much.
On today's headlines, Jigawa State Governor finds government offices empty during surprise inspection. Kwankwaso says Peter Obi signed a one-term presidency agreement. ICPC questions Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila over the PFIPC investigation. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi carried out a surprise inspection of the state secretariat and found several government offices empty at around 11 a.m. The offices of the secretary to the state government, the head of the service, and the accountant general were reportedly locked and were absent. Governor Namadi described the situation. This administration would not tolerate absentees or poor commitment in the civil service. Okay, so I saw the video of him going through office to office, and I believe this particular issue was brought about the division of state, because most of these people used to live in Kano before, and now that their office is now in Jigawa, they could not leave where they were living and then move to another state to go and start a brand new life. So now they go to work from Kano to Jigawa, which means every morning around 7 or 8 o'clock they drive all the way from Kano to Jigawa.
How old is Jigawa State? How old is Jigawa? I mean,
that is the justification they give anyways.
Okay, so that should infuriate the governor more.
Yes, of course.
Because how old is Jigawa? Jigawa State was not founded yesterday now. Jigawa State was, if I'm not mistaken, it was created in 1993. Or either 93 or 96 by General Sani Abacha. That's 30 years ago. This crop of civil servants in at the time of the founding of that state or the creation of that state, they must have retired by now. So what is the excuse of going to work at 11 a.m.? I mean, the governor went there 11 a.m. There was nobody on seats. And we are complaining about governance in the country. We don't realize that the bureaucrats, who are the civil servants, are the engine wheel with which government's policy gets to the people. So imagine needing something from that office and you go there 7 a.m. thinking it is the, let me not even say Abuja culture, because Abuja culture too, 7 a.m. is quite too early in the federal capital. Thinking is the Lagos, hustling and bustling situation of Lagos State. You probably will wait 4 or 5 hours and will not see anybody.
Unless you have never been to like that part of the north,
yeah.
I believe you would understand that they don't go to work early. It's not just
the
Jigawa
attitude.
State.
Yes, I understand. I mean, perfectly. In fact, it is a Nigerian thing. Let me not. The way we see civil service, the way civil servants see civil service is that it is a nobody's job. That is the reason why if there's any government opening, people earning tons of money outside the public sector will want to kill themselves to enter that place, because they know that they will get pension and they will have time to do other things that is other than the jobs they are employed to do. So I think it's a shame, but of course what we want to find out is the governor has read the riot act. What is he going to do about it?
Of course, now we are waiting for what the consequences should be.
I am almost 90% or 100% sure that nothing will come out of it, because to sack a civil servant in Nigeria, it is way easier for you to go
Mr.
to the
Saheed, I believe we should have at least sanctions. We don't necessarily need to sack somebody to prove a point, because I
understand where you are coming from.
Very hard.
I know it's difficult, but the point is that it is not a new phenomenon. It's not as if these people being caught are like it's a novel matter. It is a constant culture of Nigerians to take civil service job as if it's nothing. So if we are not sacking them, if there is no fear of a reprimand in this matter, then you have it on a repeat. Like I said, Jigawa State was founded by Abacha sometime in 1996, if I'm not mistaken, between 93 or 95, I can't really tell. This is 30 years after, and that habit is still there. For you to see the job as no man's job, you go there, you enter 11 and leave 2 p.m. Meanwhile, on your job description, on your job,
It says 9 to 5.
it says 9 to 5. So it is at the height of unprofessionalism, carelessness, and a bit of selfishness. Because while they are not at work, the time that they are being paid for by the government, they are using it to do other things. So another angle to play the devil's advocate is to look at the matter from the point of whether there's enough even motivation for them to even go to that work. It's one thing to employ people, and it's another thing to give them jobs to do. Some of them may not even have desks.
Of course,
and
yes.
they will be on payroll. So it's a whole, I would say, cornucopia of a problem that needs to be sorted out.
I think recently we had an accountability issue in the federal government whereby they were going through offices and people on the payrolls that were not actually going to office. I think it happened like 2 days back.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a national problem, and some people are abroad as we are speaking, and their payments, they still have
they are still on the
payroll of the federal government where they are studying abroad, or they are doing other jobs.
Saheed, you're too quiet.
Yeah, because I'm saying it from probably a bigger or from a different point. Number one, it went to the state secretariat. That's the place to house the commissioners and a host of even the PAMSECs. And out of his commissioners who are even appointees, only one of them was present. And he also went around and saw probably only one PAMSEC also was also present. And usually, every state have between 18 to 20 something commissioners. So if he only met just one of them, my problem is not because even if he sacks all the people he did not meet, they will be treating a symptom, not a cause, because it shows the system in that state is terrible. And if the governor says his administration will not allow this and that, I just when I heard him say that, I just chuckled, because this is 3 years, 2 months of your administration, and you just got to know that your commissioners don't come to office. 3 years, 2 months, because 29th of May makes it 3 years. June, July, so we are in July. So 3 years, 2 months. You have just 10 months left in your administration, and that is when you are beginning to discover that your commissioners. So it's not. It's all of them together, and it would have shown from their deliverables that they are not delivering. And if the commissioners don't come to office, PAMSEC don't come to office, then what will the staff be doing? So for me, even if I'm to penalize people, I will only penalize people at the top. The people at the bottom, what blame will I met out of those people? So it's a systemic thing. One of the people I respect so much, one of the best readers I have in Nigeria, a day was telling me that if you see a place where they steal, he said it's the system that permits them to steal. He said, for example, if you take an hardened thief, even a armed robber, to be employed by Access Bank, GT Bank, he asked me, he said, do you think they will be able to steal? So a place is the reflection of what that place allows. So if it is just 2, 3 that are not there, then it rubs off on those 2. But if almost a conclusive total
are not there
of your entire structure, they are not even present at work, then it's not their problem, it's your problem. It's the governor's problem. It's a systemic problem. It's a statewide problem. It's not just the normal staff there. Maybe they should just give them a week, just a query. But the top guys and the governor too should get experts to come and review and put in a system. Now we have thumbprint scanning to tell you that your commissioners are present. But at that level, if you still need a thumbprint to make sure commissioner comes to work, Mr. Demola, then we are we have a fundamental
that's
problem.
That's the reason why we've seen state governors over the years who has shown this kind of thing, just to do a walkthrough of their civil services, services and appointees offices to see what's going on, and the matters are still the same. Similar in Ebonyi State. I think the governor Winfuru at some point in time went somewhere, and he saw that I think it was a fee that was supposed to be free or something, and then they were doctoring the receipts, to make it look as if it wasn't free. It was free. Yes. But it wasn't actually. No, it was actually free, but they were getting money. So he had to sack a worker or two. Then in Borno State, during his first term, Zulum went to his school, 7 a.m., a primary school, and it was only one teacher.
Yeah, an Igbo
woman that had been residing in that state for a while.
Mr. Demola, it's a lot of, for example, the sacked minister in the first year of President Tinubu, Beta Edu.
Yeah.
They were saying when the corruption case came, there was a memo, we are traveling to Kogi State for something, distribution, blah, 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 blah. And instead of people to write the cost of fuel to take them there as part of the logistics, all of them wrote that they took flights, including the minister, to Kogi State that has no airport. So they just documented flight fee to and fro, flight fee to and fro for all of them. But there's no airport in and it's not private jet. There's no airport. At least if it is private jet, you can say they can land in Obajana. Or if they took helicopter, maybe they can also land in Obajana. So it's not like that. You said you took public. So it's a systemic problem. So that one, I won't blame Beta Edu or our staff. It's a system that cannot say it's impossible for you to take public flights to commercial flights to Kogi State that has no airport.
Thank you so much. On to our next story. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso says Peter Obi signed a written agreement to serve only one term if elected president in 2027. The claims have sparked fresh debate over power sharing and political agreements ahead of the next general election. Sorry, I'm confused. Is this even possible? Like, can he write or sign an agreement that he will only serve one term?
Having a consensus or gentlemanly agreement. Yes, having a gentlemanly agreement in Nigeria is not really a problem because the constitution agrees or allows for consensus can be made. However,
cannot stop it.
Except they take it to the Supreme Court, which is impossible because the Supreme Court's judgment is law. Is law. It's like the Constitution. However, this case is just a verbal agreement or whatever it is. Even they have a document, it will still be inferior to Nigeria. So it means that they are putting Nigeria on the precipice of crisis when it comes, because there is nothing in this world. If Peter Obi is alive, and if he wins the next election, becomes the president of Nigeria, and he says, you know what, I've done well, according to my own estimate, I think I should do a second term. Nothing can remove him from that office or stop him from, contesting. It will even take Nigeria beyond the scope of a doctrine of necessity. That is hypothetically, if we say that flies.
But it seems like this signing of the agreement is no longer in the interest of the people. It's more like a personal interest for them.
Before politics gets to the people, it gets to the actors have to play it. These are the actors playing the politics now. But the general problem will affect everybody, because when it comes, that's where you start hearing, for example, if Peter Obi becomes president and maybe by 2035, is it? 2031, and he says, hang on a minute, I've done very well, I think I'm going to go for another term. And the people in the southeast and the Christians, and I keep saying, you know what, it's only him that can solve Nigeria's problem. He has done halfway, let him continue. Those conversations will come. That is the standard in Nigeria. So my own problem is, it will work for them to sell to the populace to elect them, but it is not sufficient to stop the problem in the future.
Mr. Saheed, I don't know. I feel like this their legally binding agreement should oversee anything else. Since they both agreed to it, it's not like they were forced or coerced into it.
Yeah, like you said, you have to test that in court. This is not the first time this is happening. Even Chris Ngige, it happened. They wrote agreement before him not to confess the Obudu shrine. They even took him to a shrine to go and swear, because they know it is not legally binding when you make this kind of agreement. It's like me making an agreement with you that I will stop speaking. That my human right of speaking, I cease to have it. It won't hold any water, because it contradicts the rights the Constitution has given to you. So It's also so it's largely it's not going to work because it's not the first time they're having this kind of agreement. And they say the greatest predictors of future events are past events. This kind of agreement they had with Goodluck Jonathan in 2011 election, and even as gentlemanly as Goodluck Jonathan was, in 2015, Goodluck Jonathan contested, and the North came against him, the Nigerians came against him, and because of that, he lost the election by not too much margin. So somebody like Peter Obi, that the Southeast, the Igbos have not entered this country for more than 50 years. Even in this Fourth Republic, they've not been president, they've not been vice president. The same discrimination that has been said to be on them in Nigeria, that they are actually proper Nigerians, is the story that will come of that. Why will the Yoruba president, if he wins in 2027, that means Yoruba has had the presidency for 12 years. Yar'Adua did about 3 years. Baba Buhari did 8 years. That's 11 years. That means Muslims have also, Christians will also come up. Of course, Goodluck Obasanjo was a Christian 8 years. Goodluck did 6 years. That's 13, right? 14 years. Then Baba Buhari did 8 years. Then Tinubu did 4 years, making 12 years plus the 3 years of Yar'Adua. That's 12, 15 years. So a lot of calculations will now start coming up, and the decision I'm not contesting for the president cannot be taken by one person. The religion is on you. For example, somebody like Baba Buhari, if you read the book of Dr. Charles Omole, he mentioned that Baba Buhari didn't want to contest in 2019, but the chief of army staff there told him that they cannot guarantee security with the
if he doesn't contest him.
So even though as honest, because even if Obi is saying it's honest, his honesty in ratio to Baba Buhari's honesty will probably maximum, probably 10%. Baba Buhari, we know this man is an honest man. So if he himself could not stand to his people and say, I'm no longer contesting for any whatever reason, this agreement is null and void. Is null and void. And the merger of Obi and Kwankwaso is a merger is a measure of convenience. They are not friends. I can tell you they don't respect each other. I can tell you they don't like each other. When Obi was investing in Buri, a chunk of money of Anambra State, Kwankwaso was the governor in Kano, was destroying anywhere they were selling it afterwards in Kano. So I don't see what unites them. Kwankwaso is a man who likes
politics unites them.
Probably because politics can unite you, can also divide you.
Just to quickly add, he said maybe it's a marriage of convenience for them, political convenience. I see more of inconvenience because in 2014, Peter Obi deported Northerners, and Kwankwaso, as the governor then in Kano State, went to Anambra State to inquire, and in fact he practically accused Peter Obi of the first person to deport a Nigerian in Nigeria. At that point in time. So now in 2020
they are coming together.
They are telling us that they have an agreement.
We will see the end of it.
So, secondly, again, just to show a reference of similar thing. You spoke about that when you become president, you are not president of yourself anymore. You represent a lot of things. When Goodluck Jonathan was touted to not want to contest for 2015 election, Asari Dokubo of Nana Daneji said, enough it in pidgin parlance that they're not born and well, that you can't even come and tell us that you won't contest. That it's your right to do it. Whatever agreement that's in place is not avoid. So I think if you just do it, I think it's just a
marriage of convenience. Anyways, let's leave it like that. Okay, thank you very much. For more information, subscribe to our Citizen TV on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter and TikTok. Thank you to my guests, Mr. Saheed and Mr. Adeniran. This is Citizen TV. I am Nana Daneji. Have a lovely day.